XDefiant has gone through a lot of changes since the game was first revealed back in July of 2021. Over 2 years later, and we are now approaching the final release for the game, or at least we hope. This is the story of XDefiant. Let's go back to July 2021 when the game wasn't even called XDefiant. It was originally called Tom Clancy's XDefiant. It initially got a ton of mixed reactions from people calling it Call of Duty Halo Field Warfare. Yes, people really said that. Obviously, making the game seem unoriginal. Too many people were saying the game would only survive a few weeks, a few days. People saying the game would have been good maybe 10 years ago. However, people also saw this as a great opportunity for Ubisoft to make a game with a Ubisoft and Call of Duty style feel into one good FPS game. Let's talk about where it all started. 2021. Mark Rubin set out to develop a new game, which they said was a mixture of fast-paced gunfights and punk rock mosh pit. The video released on the Ubisoft page described a ton of features that we still see in today's gameplay with the betas. But it wasn't all that good. The game received a ton of hate from the start. Many people saying it wouldn't last more than 2 weeks. People comparing it to many games like Overwatch, Team Fortress 2, Modern Combat, or budget versions of Call of Duty. The main hate came through the name though. Tom Clancy, also known as one of the more tactical style games that you can find, not really known as a fast-paced shooter like they described. The game got a bunch of first impression videos that you can still find on YouTube, describing the game as a good starting point and a good potential for a game. Lots of people had issues with how clunky it felt, how the hit registration was, and how unpolished the game looked and felt. But all this criticism was taken very seriously by Mark and his team, and they continued to work hard to make the game what people wanted. The first closed test took place 1 month after the game was initially revealed, August 2021, with many people giving the developers their honest opinions on the game and what needed to be changed. Before we get any further into this video, if you're enjoying it so far, consider hitting the subscribe button to stay up to date with XDefiant. You'll see daily videos on my channel when the game is released. Now let's get back into the video. The XDefiant team stayed quiet for months following the closed beta, up until March of 2022, when the game was no longer called Tom Clancy's XDefiant. It was now called XDefiant. The game was rebranded in hopes to remove some of the negativity around the game and work towards building its own community and support. The images that were first published were now remade to show a new, modern design instead of this punk rock theme they initially had talked about. The images we still see to this day are the ones that they rebranded with. They also then went on to have over 10 closed test sessions from March of 2022 until September of 2022, allowing the community to get their hands on the game and give actual feedback on how it felt. They wanted this information for the movement, the time to kill, the gunplay, how the maps felt, how the hit registration felt. They wanted to know every single detail. They really cared what people had to say and what they did or didn't enjoy. From 2021 release info up until what we had at the start of 2023, the game continued to improve from the closed tests and continued to grow with more and more support. With Call of Duty in a bad place at the time with Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2, many fans wanted to give something a new try, and this was the perfect chance. We saw tons of Call of Duty players playing XDefiant. We saw Scump, Methods, Shotzzy all make videos on XDefiant. We continued to see more and more people talk about how the game would kill Call of Duty and how Activision would be scared of XDefiant. The hype continued to grow with more and more people streaming the game and playing the game. More tests happened in 2023. Some YouTubers getting over 500,000 views, showing people the game was now to be taken very seriously. Fast forward to later in 2023, we saw an open beta go live. The beta reached 4 times what the developers had expected. We saw over 2.5 million unique players over that weekend that it was out. This brings us to now, September 5th, 2023. 17 days left in the summer, and the promise and hope the game will be released, like Mark Rubin had said. That is the history of XDefiant and how far it has came. Let me know in the comments when you first heard about XDefiant and what your first impressions were on it and when you began to support the game. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the video tomorrow. Peace.